Welcome to nice sleep, the place where dreams begin before your eyes even close. I'm Daniel, and tonight I'll be your guide through a tranquil journey, a story that unfolds in the serene realm of dreams. Imagine a world where the boundaries between dreams and reality blur, where every nightfall brings new adventures in the land of slumber. Tonight, we'll explore the tale of Isabel, a dream weaver who traverses this mystical dreamscape. She discovers enchanted places and meets souls whispering their stories in the quiet of the night. As we wander through Isabel's experiences, let yourself be carried away into a world of wonder and calm, a place where every dream is a brushstroke on the canvas of the imagination. Prepare to embark on a journey, a soothing adventure that promises to bring peace and a sense of awe as you drift towards sleep. Let's begin our journey into relaxation, immersing ourselves in the world of Isabel, our dream weaver. Close your eyes and breathe deeply. Feel the tension in your body melting away with each breath, as if a gentle wave of tranquility washes over you. Imagine yourself in a vast, open meadow under a night sky, a tapestry of stars twinkling above. The moon casts a soft, silver glow, illuminating the wildflowers around you. You feel the cool, soft grass beneath your feet, a natural carpet leading you into Isabel's world. As you wander through this dreamscape, you come across a serene stream. Its waters shimmer under the moonlight, creating a melody of peacefulness. You kneel beside it, dipping your fingers into the cool, clear water. The ripples spread out, carrying away your worries, leaving you in a state of calm bliss. In the distance, you hear a soft melody, a tune both unfamiliar yet comforting. It's Isabel, playing a wooden flute, her notes weaving through the air like silk. Each note brings deeper relaxation, a lullaby for your soul. You follow the melody to a clearing where Isabel sits. She smiles at you, a recognition of shared tranquility. Around you, the air is filled with the scent of jasmine and the gentle whisper of the breeze, a soothing symphony of the night. Isabel guides you to a hammock strung between two ancient trees. As you lie down, the hammock cradles you, swaying gently. You feel weightless, as if floating on a cloud. The stars above seem to dance, each one a guardian, watching over your peaceful slumber. The story of Isabel, her journey through dreams, resonates with your own quest for tranquility. In this moment, you're part of her world, a realm where every dream is a path to serenity. As you rest here, let your mind wander freely, exploring the dreamscape around you. Feel the serenity of Isabel's world infusing every fiber of your being. With each breath, you sink deeper into relaxation, ready to embrace the dreams that await. This is your sanctuary, a place where dreams and reality blend into a harmonious lullaby, cradling you into a restful, rejuvenating sleep. The night draped over the city like a velvet shroud, its skyscrapers piercing the dark sky like monolithic sentinels. In a small, unassuming apartment nestled among the bustling streets, Isabel lay in her bed, her breathing deep, and even as she slipped into the realm of sleep, the transition was seamless. One moment, the familiar confines of her room surrounded her, and the next, she found herself standing in a vast, open meadow. The moon hung low and full, casting a soft, silver glow over the wildflowers that swayed gently in the night breeze. The air was crisp, filled with the scent of damp earth and blooming jasmine. Isabel walked barefoot, feeling the cool, soft grass beneath her feet. A sense of tranquility enveloped her, a stark contrast to the usual anxiety that plagued her waking hours. The meadow seemed endless, the horizon a distant line where the earth kissed the starry sky. As she wandered, Isabel noticed a stream, its waters shimmering under the moonlight like liquid silver. She knelt beside it, dipping her fingers into the cool, clear water. Ripples spread out, distorting her reflection, a face marked by the worries of day-to-day life, now unburdened and serene. Suddenly, the tranquil night was broken by a soft melody, a tune both unfamiliar and oddly comforting. Isabel stood, drawn towards the sound. In the distance, a figure played a wooden flute, their notes weaving through the air like threads of silk. The melody seemed to beckon her, pulling at something deep within her soul. As she approached, the figure turned to face her, their features obscured by the shadows. The music ceased, and a voice, gentle yet resonant, filled the silence. "Welcome, Isabel. You finally arrived." Isabel's heart quickened. "Where am I?" she asked, her voice a mere whisper. "In a place where your heart speaks louder than your mind," the figure replied, stepping into the moonlight. They were neither old nor young, their eyes holding wisdom far beyond their years. Isabel felt a surge of questions, yet the words wouldn't come. The figure smiled kindly, as if understanding her unspoken thoughts. "This is just the beginning," they said, their voice fading as the meadow began to dissolve around her. "Your journey has much to reveal." And with those final words, the meadow vanished, replaced once again by the familiar surroundings of her bedroom. Isabel sat up, her heart pounding, the remnants of the dream still vivid in her mind. She looked out the window at the night sky, where the stars twinkled, as if in recognition of her newfound journey. As dawn's first light crept through the curtains, Isabel knew something profound had changed. She couldn't shake the feeling that the dream was more than just a figment of her imagination. It felt real, tangible, a gateway to something greater. With the new day came a determination to uncover the truth of her nocturnal adventure. Little did she know, her quest for answers would lead her to Lucas, a mentor who would reveal the mysteries of her dreams and the hidden world they belonged to. The morning after her vivid dream, Isabel found herself in a cafe, her thoughts a tumultuous sea of confusion and wonder. Outside, the city was awakening, the streets buzzing with the symphony of daily life. She sipped her coffee, the warm bitterness grounding her to reality. Yet her mind was elsewhere, ensnared by the memories of the night. As she gazed out of the window, lost in thought, a reflection caught her eye. There, in the glass, she saw not just her own image, but also that of a man seated behind her. He was reading a book, his presence calm and unobtrusive, yet something about him seemed familiar. His eyes, when they met hers in the reflection, held a glint of recognition. Turning to face him, Isabel felt a jolt of surprise. The man from her reflection was indeed looking at her, his gaze both curious and knowing. He smiled, a gentle, reassuring smile that eased some of her apprehension. "Isabel, isn't it?" he asked, his voice smooth and calm. "Yes, but do I know you?" Isabel replied, her voice tinged with caution. "In a way, yes. You might say I've been expecting you," he said, closing his book and gesturing to the seat opposite him. "Please join me. My name is Lucas." Hesitantly, Isabel took the seat, her curiosity piqued. Lucas had an air of serenity about him, his eyes reflecting a depth of knowledge and understanding. "I saw you in my dream," Isabel said, the words spilling out before she could stop them. Lucas nodded, not seeming surprised. "I thought you might say that. Dreams are more than just idle fantasies, Isabel. They're a gateway to a deeper understanding, a realm where we are more than just our waking selves." Isabel listened, her skepticism warring with the undeniable truth of her experience. Lucas spoke of dreams with a reverence and insight that intrigued her. "You're not just a dreamer, Isabel. You're what we call a dream weaver. You have the ability to not just experience dreams, but to shape them, influence them," Lucas explained, his voice steady and reassuring. "But how is that possible?" "It sounds like something out of a fairy tale," Isabel said, struggling to grasp the concept. All great truths start as fables, Lucas replied with a smile. What you experienced last night was the awakening of your gift, and I'm here to help you understand and control it. As they talked, the cafe around them faded into the background. Lucas shared stories of other dreamweavers, of worlds within dreams, and the delicate balance between the dream realm and reality. Isabel's skepticism slowly melted away, replaced by a sense of awe and a thirst for understanding. Lucas's words painted a picture of a world she never knew existed, a world she was now a part of. As they parted ways, Lucas handed her a small, intricately carved box. Inside, you'll find something to help guide you in your dreams. We'll meet again soon, he said, his eyes twinkling with a hint of mystery. Back in her apartment, Isabel opened the box. Inside was a small, silver locket on a delicate chain. It was beautiful, etched with symbols she didn't recognize. Holding it in her hand, she felt a connection, a sense of purpose. That night, as Isabel drifted into sleep, she wore the locket, her mind abuzz with possibilities. She was no longer just a passive participant in her dreams. She was a dream weaver, embarking on a journey of discovery and wonder. That night, under the soft glow of the moon, Isabel lay in her bed with the silver locket clasped firmly in her hand. Its cool surface seemed to pulsate with a life of its own, synchronizing with the rhythm of her heartbeat. She closed her eyes, taking a deep breath, and let the world of consciousness fade away. As sleep enveloped her, Isabel found herself standing at the edge of a cliff overlooking an endless ocean. The sky was a tapestry of twinkling stars, each one shimmering like a gemstone. The moon, larger and more luminous than she had ever seen it, cast a radiant path across the water's surface. She looked down at the locket around her neck. It glowed softly, its light ebbing and flowing like the gentle tide below. With a sense of purpose, Isabel stepped forward, and to her amazement, she didn't fall. Instead, she found herself walking on air, descending gracefully towards the glittering sea. As she reached the water, her feet skimmed the surface, creating ripples that glowed with a faint light. The ocean was warm and inviting, its depths holding mysteries yet to be uncovered. Isabel felt a pull, a calling from the deep, urging her to explore. She dove into the water, her body adapting effortlessly to the aquatic environment. The water didn't hinder her movements. Instead, it felt like an extension of her being. She swam deeper, the pressure of the depths embracing her like a comforting blanket. Below, an underwater city came into view. It was a marvel of architecture, glowing with an ethereal light. Buildings of coral and seashell spiraled towards the ocean's surface, intertwined with gardens of luminous seaweed and colorful fish that darted between the fronds. Isabel approached the city, her heart pounding with excitement. The inhabitants, a myriad of sea creatures with human-like features, greeted her with curious glances. They moved with a grace and fluidity that was mesmerizing. In the heart of the city, a grand palace of pearl and aquamarine stood proudly. Its gates opened as she approached, and she was greeted by a figure robed in flowing garments of deep blue and green. Their face was serene, with eyes reflecting the vastness of the ocean. "Welcome, Isabel, dreamweaver of the land," the figure spoke, with a voice that resonated like the tide. "You have much to learn, and the depths are a good place to start." The figure guided her through the palace, showing her the wonders of the underwater realm. Isabel saw libraries of ancient knowledge, gardens of rare marine flora, and chambers where the dreams of the sea creatures were woven into reality. As she explored, Isabel realized that each dream she witnessed was a story, a life, a piece of the vast puzzle that made up the world. She saw dreams of joy, of sorrow, of hopes and fears, each as vivid and real as her own. The figure explained, "Dreams are the threads that weave the tapestry of life. They connect us all, land and sea, sky and earth. As a dream weaver, your task is to understand these connections, to bring harmony where there is discord." As dawn approached in the waking world, the underwater city began to fade, and Isabel felt herself rising to the surface. The last thing she saw was the smiling face of the figure, their eyes gleaming with wisdom and kindness. Isabel awoke in her bed, the first rays of the morning sun peeking through her curtains. She lay there for a moment, the memory of the dream still vivid in her mind. The locket on her chest had ceased glowing, its job done for the night. With each dream, Isabel felt herself growing, understanding more about the world and her place in it. She knew this was just the beginning of her journey, a journey that would take her to places beyond her wildest imaginations. The morning after her underwater journey, Isabel sat at her desk, the locket laying next to her notebook. She was sketching the vivid images from her dream, trying to capture the essence of the underwater city and its inhabitants. Each stroke of her pen brought the dream back to life, the colors and emotions spilling onto the page. Later that day, she met Lucas in a quiet park, the city's bustle muted by the rows of towering trees and flowering shrubs. Lucas was sitting on a bench, his eyes closed, seemingly lost in thought. Isabel approached, her mind buzzing with questions and excitement. "Lucas, I visited an underwater city in my dream last night," she exclaimed, sitting beside him. Lucas opened his eyes, a smile playing on his lips. "I can see the journey has left its mark on you. Tell me, what did you learn?" Isabel recounted her experience, describing the architecture, the creatures, and the mysterious figure who had guided her. Lucas listened intently, nodding occasionally, his eyes reflecting a deep understanding. "You're beginning to see the connections, Isabel," Lucas said after she finished. "Dreams are not just individual experiences. They're part of a larger, interconnected web. Each dream is a thread in the fabric of this world." Isabel pondered his words, realizing the depth of her new responsibility. "But how do I know what to do? How can I understand what these dreams mean?" "That's where your training comes in," Lucas replied. He stood up, gesturing for her to follow him. They walked along a winding path, the sunlight filtering through the leaves, casting dappled shadows on the ground. Lucas led her to a secluded part of the park where an ancient tree stood. Its branches were twisted and gnarled, yet it exuded a sense of strength and wisdom. "Sit here, under this tree. Close your eyes and clear your mind," Lucas instructed. "Listen to the world around you. Feel the life in everything. This will help you attune to the dreams you encounter." Isabel did as told, closing her eyes and taking deep, slow breaths. The sounds of the park filled her ears, the rustling of leaves, the distant chatter of people, the gentle hum of insects. She felt the energy of the earth below her, the steady rhythm of nature that pulsed through everything. As she sat there, images and emotions from her dreams began to surface. She saw the connections Lucas spoke of, the threads linking her dreams to the world around her. It was overwhelming yet exhilarating. After what seemed like hours, Isabel opened her eyes. The world seemed different now, more vibrant and alive. She looked at Lucas, a sense of awe in her expression. "You're starting to understand," Lucas said. "This is only the beginning. Your dreams will take you to many places, show you many things. But remember, with this gift comes a responsibility. You must use it wisely, to help and heal, not just to explore." Isabel nodded, her resolve strengthening. She was no longer the confused girl who had stumbled upon her powers. She was a dream weaver, a guardian of the dreamscape. Over the next few weeks, Isabel practiced her new skills, visiting different dreams, each more complex and enlightening than the last. She learned to navigate the dreamscape, to understand the symbols and emotions that populated it. But with each dream, she also encountered challenges. Some dreams were dark, filled with fear and despair. Isabel learned to confront these negative emotions, to help the dreamers find peace and resolution. It was a journey of discovery, not just of the dreams she visited, but also of herself. With each dream, Isabel grew more confident, more in tune with her powers. She was no longer just experiencing the dreams. She was shaping them, weaving them into narratives of healing and understanding. As she mastered her abilities, Isabel realized that her journey was far from over. There were still many mysteries to unravel, many dreams to explore. But now, she was ready to face whatever the dreamscape had in store for her, ready to be the dream weaver she was meant to be. As the city lights dimmed under the night sky, Isabel, with the locket around her neck, prepared for another night's work in the world of dreams. The locket, once an ordinary piece of jewelry, now served as her key to the unseen realms of slumber. Her first encounter was in a sprawling cityscape dream, belonging to a young office worker overwhelmed by the chaos of urban life. Isabel found herself standing amidst towering skyscrapers, the dreamer sitting on a bench, head in hands. She approached quietly, transforming the oppressive buildings into open green spaces, easing the dreamer's tension. Next, she visited the dream of a teenager preparing for an important exam. The dream was a classroom, the walls closing in, papers flying chaotically. Isabel stilled the flurry, turning the papers into softly floating leaves and the walls into distant, peaceful horizons. The teenager's frantic breathing slowed, a calm taking over. In each dream, Isabel's touch was subtle. She altered landscapes, softened noises, and brightened dim corners. Her actions weren't grand gestures, but small changes that gently guided the dreamers towards a more peaceful sleep. The night led her to various dreams: a mother struggling with fatigue, a child afraid of monsters under the bed, a traveler lost in an unknown land. In each, Isabel's presence brought a sense of order and peace, her adjustments helping to dispel fears and anxieties. As the night waned, Isabel sensed the approaching dawn. Her last visit was to an elderly man reliving memories of his youth. His dream was a quiet, sunlit street from a bygone era. Isabel walked alongside him, listening to his stories, her presence a silent acknowledgement of his nostalgia. Returning to her own consciousness, Isabel lay in her bed, the first rays of morning light peeking through her curtains. The locket had cooled, its work done for the night. She thought about the dreams she had visited, the people she had helped in their private worlds. Lying there, Isabel realized her nightly journeys were more than explorations. They were connections to the diverse tapestry of human experience. Tonight, she had been a silent companion, an unseen helper in the world of dreams. Today would be a day of rest, a pause before she ventured again into the dreamscape. And tonight, she planned to seek out the community of dreamweavers to learn and grow in her unique role. With a deep breath, Isabel rose from her bed, ready to face the day, carrying with her the quiet satisfaction of her night's work. The dreamscape awaited her return, ready for her to continue her journey as a dreamweaver. Isabel's journey that night took her to a new part of the dreamscape, one she had never explored before. It was a gathering place for dreamweavers, and she was both nervous and excited about meeting others like her. The setting was a calm, starlit valley surrounded by gentle hills. The air was cool and fresh, and the soft glow of the moon illuminated the landscape. Here, dreamweavers from various places came together to share their experiences and knowledge. Isabel watched and listened as different weavers demonstrated their techniques. One showed how to gently reshape a dream setting, turning a stormy sea into a peaceful beach. Another explained how to listen to the subtle sounds in a dream to understand a dreamer's hidden worries. She was particularly intrigued by a method called lucid anchoring. This technique involved identifying key elements in a dream that could help stabilize it, preventing it from becoming a nightmare. A weaver demonstrated this by focusing on a dreamer's cherished memory, which served as an anchor to maintain the dream's calmness. Another weaver discussed navigating complex dreamscapes, suggesting ways to move through them without altering their core narratives. This was crucial in maintaining the integrity of the dream while still providing guidance. Throughout the night, Isabel exchanged her own experiences with the group. She talked about her approach to calming fears in children's nightmares, turning frightening figures into friendly characters. As the meeting concluded, Isabel felt a sense of fulfillment. She had gained valuable insights that would enhance her abilities as a dream weaver. The other weavers gradually departed, each returning to their respective tasks or waking lives. Alone again, Isabel reflected on the night's discussions. She felt more prepared and confident to face the various challenges in the dreamscape. The techniques she learned would be useful in her nightly ventures, and she looked forward to applying them. The first light of dawn was breaking as she returned to her waking life. The night had been long and filled with learning. She got ready for the day, feeling a quiet satisfaction from the night's productive exchange. The experience had equipped her with new tools for her role as a dream weaver. Isabel knew that with each night and each dream she visited, she would continue to grow in her ability to navigate and influence the dreamscape. The next night's journey awaited, and she was ready to apply what she had learned, eager to explore and assist in the world of dreams once more. As the night faded into the early hours of the morning, Isabel found herself back in her own room. The familiar surroundings were bathed in the soft light of dawn, casting gentle shadows across the space. Outside her window, the city was slowly waking up. The distant sounds of early risers and the occasional car passing by created a subtle, rhythmic backdrop. Isabel sat on the edge of her bed, taking a moment to transition from the dreamscape to the reality of her room. She reflected on the gathering from the night before and the new techniques she had learned. The experience had been insightful, and she felt a sense of quiet achievement. Her mind replayed the moments of exchanging ideas with the other dreamweavers, each interaction enriching her understanding of her role. Isabel looked at the locket resting on her bedside table. It was just an ordinary object in the daylight, but she knew its significance when the night came. She was eager to put into practice the lucid anchoring and the method of navigating complex dreamscapes. The room brightened as the sun rose higher, signaling the start of a new day. Isabel stood up, ready to go about her day, carrying with her the anticipation for the next night's journey into the dreamscape.